Welcome into our Week 4 matchup between the New York Krooks and the Boston Momolutions. New York coming in 3-0 with 33 points, just behind San Diego. And of course, Boston coming in 0-2, had a bye week last week, but only rocking with 7 points, of course, with their all-evolution team. And here we are off to the races between New York and Boston. Boston going to send out Jolteon and Vaporeon, and New York is with Archaludon and Sableye here. Of course, New York picking up massive wins, keeping up pace almost with San Diego, and a possible interesting matchup that'll come from that when those two teams go head up later in the season. And here we are. Archaludon coming out with a Protect to start for New York's side. And a Light Screen from Sableye. So setting themselves up. And an Electroweb coming out from the Jolteon for Boston. Will not hit the Archaludon, but will hit the Sableye, dropping its speed by 1 and doing a little bit of damage. And the Vaporeon is going to set up a Rain Dance, so we now have 5 turns of rain here. And, well, excuse me, 4 turns of rain and 4 turns of Light Screen. Alright, Sableye going in for a skill swap with the Jolteon, so the Quick Feet and Prankster will be swapped. And the Thunder coming out onto the Sableye, drops it down to 42%. The Archaludon, excuse me, is going for that Electro Shot, of course, signature move essentially at this point. Special attack is going to go up by 1, going for the Vaporeon here. The Vaporeon will live, and it's on living on 12. That Citrus Berry is going to kick itself in. And there is an Acid Armor from the Vaporeon. So that defense is going to rise by 1. By pretty, so far, evened match between these two squads. Boston, of course, looking for its first win here in the Victory Road League ever. And also wanting to hopefully pick themselves up some more points as they're sitting at 7. New York, of course, looking to stay undefeated at 4-0 and has 33 points. Of course, there is an Intimidate, dropping the attack of Jolteon and Vaporeon by 1. The Thunder coming out for the Incineroar. Archaludon with an Electro Shot, now a +2 in special attack, assuming that it is going for this Vaporeon to get it off the field right here, right away. And there it is. And a point to the New York Krooks to start off this match. So another big moment for New York, picking up a point there. And there is Umbreon for the Boston Momolutions. Of course, that Jolteon still a little bit of a pest for New York's side. The Light Screen still up for 2 more turns. The Rain still set up for 2 more turns. And Incineroar going for the Fake Out onto the Jolteon, so it won't be able to move. Archaludon with an Electro Shot here. So now +3 in special attack. And there it is, onto the Umbreon. And it is good. It is a 1-hit KO. So now 2 points here in this match between New York and Boston. And there is Sylveon for the Boston Momolutions. Now they are down to just their Jolteon and their Sylveon. Of course, New York still with a fully healthed Archaludon, a 71% Incineroar. Sableye was a little bit under half health, and of course, still have yet to see the 4th Pokemon for New York. Light Screen and Rain still have one more turn up. And there is a Thunder on to the Incineroar, taking it down under half health. And there is a Paralysis for the Incineroar. And there's a Flash Cannon from the Archaludon onto the Sylveon. A one-hit KO due to a +3 in special attack. And the Incineroar will not be able to move due to the paralysis. And the Rain and Trick Room will go away here. New York looking to take this first match set here in our best of 3. Incineroar with a protection onto itself from this Jolteon. Well, Jolteon will use Thunder, is not going to be able to hit due to that protection. Draco Meteor +3 special attack is going to hit, and it is a KO, and that is it for this first match of 3. Welcome into our second match between the New York Krooks and the Boston Momolutions. Of course, New York getting a clean 4-0 sweep against Boston in that first set. And not too many team changes here for either New York or Boston here as they enter the second matchup of our best of 3. Of course, our last matchup here tonight on our Friday night triple header here in week 4. Can New York go for the sweep and stay at 4-0? Can Boston stumble themselves back into this and take us to an extended 3-game match? For New York's behalf, they're going to send out the Incineroar and the Gengar. The Intimidate is going to hit, and for Boston, it is going to be Jolteon and Espeon. So here we are once again. What do these two sides do? Of course, New York full momentum in their favor so far, picking up 4 points plus the match point. Boston looking to bounce themselves back. They are one of 2 teams here in the Victory Road League left without a win. The other team being the Buffalo Bouffalants. And the Mega Gengar is going to come out straight away for the New York Krooks here. So instant Mega here right away. Incineroar with a fake out onto the Espeon. Gengar is going to go for Perish Song. So all Pokemon on this field currently will faint in 3 turns, but a Volt Switch is gonna retreat that Jolteon back to the Boston sidelines. We prepare to see what Boston decides to bring out here. And they're going to send out their Sylveon. And the Espeon will not be able to attack due to that fake out. And the Perish count will hit everybody on this field but the Sylveon. What do these two teams and two sides have for us here in our Week 4 matchup? Of course, typically notorious rivals in most North American major sports leagues. Gengar going for a protection here for New York's behalf. The light screen is going to come out for Boston's behalf. And a Hyper Voice is going to hit this Incineroar, not the Gengar due to that protection. Takes it under half. And there is a throat chop onto the Sylveon. But due to that light screen being set up, is not going to hit as hard. And of course, a Perish Song count of 2 for all Pokemon but Sylveon on this field as of right now. Of course, Boston walking into this matchup with 7 total points on the season. Second lowest in the league. And of course, New York walking in with 33 points. A second highest in the league. So a big differential between these two squads. Gengar will be withdrawn. The Politoed is going to come out and has that drizzle taking into effect. So we've got 5 turns of rain. Psychic is going to come out onto that Politoed, leaving it with 69% of health. And a Calm Mind coming out for the Sylveon. So a +1 in attack and special special attack and special defense. My apologies. And that parting shot is going to come out. Attack and special attack will drop by 1 for Boston. And Incineroar will be withdrawn. Gengar is going to come back out. And now the Perish count is just onto that Espeon with 1 more turn. And we still have 4 more turns of rain here. No Pokemon knocked out. And we're 5 minutes into this second match here. What do these two teams and two squads have up their sleeves? The protection gonna come for the Gengar. And the Psychic is gonna come out, will not hit the Gengar. The Mystical Fire will come out and is not able to hit the Gengar. All the focus was onto the Gengar. Encore coming out and is focused onto that Sylveon. And unfortunately, that Espeon is gonna go down due to Perish Song. So a first point here in this second matchup between New York and Boston is going to New York. An interesting turn and cause of events here. And here comes the Jolteon for the Boston Momolutions. You now have New York up to 6 points already here. How can Boston get themselves back into this matchup here? Politoed will be withdrawn due to that threat of Jolteon on the field. But here comes Archaludon. And there is a disable from Gengar. And it's going to disable Sylveon's Mystical Fire. And the Volt Switch is going to come out. Of course, not effective onto the Archaludon. That's going to boost Archaludon's defense by 1. And Boston is going to send out its last Pokemon of the 4 that it brought. And there is the Umbreon for its side. And the Mystical Fire will not be able to go through due to that Gengar's disable. The leftovers will kick back in for the Archaludon on New York's behalf. And there is a Perish Song from the Gengar once again. So all the Pokemon on this field will faint in 3 turns. Archaludon with an Electro Shot. So a +1 to its special attack here. And it's going to hit, and it's going for that Umbreon. But of course, Umbreon, a bit of a tank, gets a 4th of its health. And Sylveon is going to use Struggle due to it not having any moves available. And that recoil damage is going to kick itself in. Foul play onto the Gengar. Has it under half health. Of course, leftovers is going to kick back in for Archaludon. And leftovers for the Umbreon on Boston's side. The Perish count is now kicked into 3 for all Pokemon on this field. And the light screen will finally wear off. And we have 1 more turn of rain that still remains. Of course, Boston left with their Jolteon, Sylveon, and Umbreon. And New York still with Incineroar, Gengar, Politoed, and Archaludon. The disable is going for the Umbreon. And of course, Sylveon is having to struggle here due to it not having any more moves left available. That Electroshot now +2 in special attack. And my apologies, excuse me. Alright, apologies for those technical difficulties. Gengar will protect itself here. And same with the Archaludon. And here is a Calm Mind from the Sylveon. So it will boost its special attack and special defense. The Yawn is gonna come out and is not going to be able to hit the Archaludon. And the Perish count is going to fall to 1 for all Pokemon remaining on the field. And we do apologize here at the Victory Road League due to some internet struggles there. Of course, Sylveon left down to 28%. Umbreon down to 43%. Gengar at 43%, of course. The Gengar will be withdrawn for New York side. The Politoed is going to come back out and reset up that Drizzle. The Archaludon will be withdrawn. And here comes out Incineroar for New York. The Intimidate will not be able to hit the Umbreon due to its ability. Protection gonna come out for the Umbreon. Hyper Voice coming out is enough to knock out the Incineroar, so a point to Boston here. That Citrus Berry is going to be kicked in. And of course, leftovers. The Perish count is going to hit the Sylveon, so a point to New York. The Perish count to the Umbreon, and all that withstands from New York starting off 4-0 is now their Jolteon. New York looking to become the only other remaining undefeated team alongside San Diego here. And that Jolteon will be unleashed, as it is the last remaining hope for the Boston Momolutions. New York, all that withstands in front of it from starting off 4-0 is this Jolteon. And there is a protection onto the Politoed. Thunder coming out for the Jolteon. Will not be able to hit the Politoed due to that protection. Archaludon with a Draco Meteor here. Not enough to knock it out. The special attack is going to fall, leaving Jolteon on 35%. Rain up for 3 more turns here. Politoed able to get a second protect off, which has a 30% chance of happening. The Electro Web not going to hit the Politoed. Will hit this Archaludon. Drop its speed by 1. But that defense is going to rise back up. And the Draco Meteor is there. It is a clean sweep. A 2-0. Oh, wait. I spoke too harshly. Special attack will drop once again. The Jolteon is down to 2% of health. The rain withstanding 2 more turns. New York 1 move away from getting themselves a 4-0 start here. The Politoed will use Protect, will not go. That Jolteon is going to use Thunder. Can Boston at least pick themselves up another point? And they will. The Politoed will faint. This Archaludon will use Flash Cannon. And that is it. A critical hit for good measure. And New York is walking out of here, the winners here in Week 4 against Boston.